We are walking and he's on the phone, but we're walking and he's walking for like 40 to 50 minutes. If a lot of beer, like in Miami. These are the things Presley and I used to fight about.
I just want to say, my boy, you know I am that strong, but you made me weak.
Tobeta's friends, Baba and Lebon, you should have told him, go home, you have children. Go home, you have a wife. Cut the BS, my Africa.
I greet you all in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ. All protocol observed. We still have more cast and crew members coming, so I will start speaking. It is both an honor and a deep privilege to stand before you today, not as an individual, but as a representative of an entire family. A family born not out of blood, but of long days on set, of shared dreams and stories told by passionate and talented people, the cast and the crew of the river. When you spend 12-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week for almost a decade, you become a family. You learn people's habits, their moods, their silences. You celebrate the wins, you mourn the losses, you comfort each other in times of sorrow. And you rejoice in the moments of joy, like how we rejoiced when Preston was born. And yes, you gossip too, because that's what families do. In preparing for today, I struggled to find the right words to say here. How do you sum up someone like Presley? Presley was layered. He was a man of deep feeling and enormous contradictions. There was light in him, dazzling, uncontainable light. But there were shadows too. And I don't say that to focus on the shadows, but to honor the fullness of Presley's humanity. He was a man who felt deeply, who wrestled with things the rest of us often look away from. And yet through it all, he still always showed up. He still gave us his art, his generosity, his humor, his friendship. He even gave us Bev. It takes a rare kind of strength to carry both brilliance and burden and still choose to give joy to others. And Presley did that for us. And for that, we are truly grateful. So I want to try and explain to you what the river was. The river was an era in time. It wasn't just a show for us. It was a moment, a space where we were encouraged to explore, where creatives were free to fly. And Presley found himself right at home. The character belonged to him. He was the character. He thrived. We fed off his energy and he fed off ours. And to be honest, it all boiled down to one simple but crucial thing. Among our cast and crew, the brilliance came from the personal and genuine connections that were created behind the scenes. It was a culture, and Presley embodied that culture. He embodied it consistently, unreservedly, proudly, and unconditionally. So I reached out to some of our colleagues to gather memories that they have of Presley. Some of them I can't share because we are in a church environment. So I had to select the safer ones that I could share here. So many of them were too stunned to speak because the pain is still fresh. Presley's absence feels like a door that's been suddenly shut. It's a voice that's been suddenly silenced, all too soon. But those who could speak spoke of his kindness, his generosity, his warmth. Siyabonga said Presley was the kind of man who would just call you to say, "Usendleleni ngiyeza." He's on his way to his house. No reason. He's just coming to check up on you. Ruben, who was the driver, mentioned how Presley would always video call him out of nowhere. Ubaba ukhulumile ukuthi Presley was always on the phone. Yiwo lama video calls abakawenza baba. That was Presley, thoughtful, present, and loving. But Presley was also mischievous. He tested our patience with his lateness. Presley showed us flames. His favorite driver was Simon, whom Presley always partied with. Whenever we couldn't find Presley, Simon was the person that would call because we were driver bonke sometimes. Charlene, I know you know Presley, you know Simon because we've spoken about him many, many times. There was a time when I went to Simon in Jaiva, Pigankaka. Simon says Presley would always want to buy food on his way to work, while Presley simlindile is sitting. Everyone was furious. But he would never buy food for just himself. He would buy food for everyone in the car. And by the time he arrived on set, charming, disarming, flashing that smile, any plan to give him the silent treatment crumbled. And there were many, many times when the cast would give him silent treatment. Here are some of the culprits. Konala. Bafike, afiku Presley, bangamkhulumisi because they were always so mad at him. Part 2 spoke on Thursday about how Presley would take whatever that was written on the page and elevate it. He would breathe life into it. He didn't just play Thuso Mokoena, he became Koprisi. And in so doing, he became a cultural force. Tebogo Matlala, who is the head of local programs at MultiChoice, reminded us of words that Presley made up, like Bev and Povi. Those words became part of our everyday language. He had that kind of impact. He didn't just perform culture, he shaped it. Ngqobe, one of our directors, said Presley was a thief. He stole scenes. And she was right, but he didn't stop there. He went and stole the identity of an actual reptile. Who would have thought that one day you would say cobra and instead of picturing a snake, you'd picture Presley? Cobra, Koprisi, Mokwepa. Presley went and rebranded an entire species. And while I'm here, program director, I'm almost done before Umhlalisa Phansi. I must acknowledge a few people. Patu and Gideon, thank you for creating a show that was more than just television. The river was a sanctuary to us. It was a livelihood, a place where many of us found a purpose. Matsepo said the river was a once in a lifetime. Everything there just worked. To the whole team at MultiChoice and everyone who worked on our show behind the scenes, thank you for giving the river a home, for trusting us with a story that changed our lives and the lives of our viewers. And behind every unforgettable moment on screen was a family behind the scenes, the cast and crew who gave it their all. Presley was only able to shine because he was surrounded by people who met his light with their own. From Malifu to Dimpo, from Akabaza to Beautynizer, Polinsky and Angelina. Thank you for playing with Presley, for being patient, for giving him grace, and for loving him. And to the crew, thank you for capturing the magic, Presley's and all of ours. You were the first audience to witness his genius. Whenever Presley tried things, you were the first person to know that it was funny. And because you laughed at him, he knew that the viewers would also laugh. And finally, to Presley's family, Mom Agnes, we've spoken briefly. I know you adored your son. Charlene, I've lost count of how many phone conversations we've had over the years. But one thing was always clear, you loved Presley and Presley loved you deeply. You were his home and his reason. Through every health challenge, every dark moment, Presley kept going because he had you, because he had his children, his siblings. You are all his anchor. And without you, we would have never had the privilege of knowing the man behind the magic. And to his kids, may you always know that your father was a rare soul, one of the greatest to ever do it. And as I close, I pray that the day comes, and comes soon, when the president finally signs the copyright amendment bill into law. So that the work of artists like Presley doesn't just live in our memories or on our screens, but also supports the families that they leave behind. May Presley's legacy not only echo in reruns of the shows he was on, may his legacy not only echo, but live forever. May it also be honored through the royalties he so richly deserves, so that those he loved can carry on with dignity, just as he carried all of us with his talent. Rest in peace, Presley. We will never forget you. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we please not sit down? Hold on. 5 more minutes. The next 5 minutes, I'm going to ask Warren Masemola, Zenzo, to come here to speak on behalf of the Friends. And I'm going to ask everyone else to remain standing so we can support them. Thank you. I appreciate you.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of trouble, and by opposing, end them, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. And in that sleep of death, what dreams may come. I wrote a speech. I will not be able to read it. I just want to say, my boy, you know I am that strong, but you made me weak. I just want to say, my boy, the 2 weeks we spent at home, you came to check on me. We spoke about the plans. You told me about the role that you were writing for me. I told you about a role that I have for you in a movie that we are meant to do together. I realized that those were our plans. Right now, we have to readjust, redo everything, because now we're dealing with God's plan. Ntonakasi, you made it, my boy. We made it. I will always love you.
Warren.
Dumela ma Africa, greetings everybody. Greetings Mama, greetings Shalene, greetings to the boys, greetings to the family, greetings to everybody. I think it sounds something like Batho botlhe ela amogelegile kgotsa le bonwe, something like that. Before I knew I could be Warren Masemola that you guys know today, I was actually here in 1997 performing the story of Mary and Joseph in the Bible. I was at Tshwane Christian School. Long, long ago there was a mother called Mary, my mama Mary. And then I went to study drama after I was kicked out of a dance college. And at the drama school that I went to at the Market Theatre Laboratory, we used to, a friend of mine and I always used to party at a place called Horror Cafe. Horror Cafe was literally next door, SAB World of Beer. So there I am, and toilet, I'm going to make a 6'9", Moroto, toilet. How? Then a friend of mine says, hey, this guy, there's a movie coming out, and he's playing Tsotsi. Like, you've never heard Tsotsi Motswana. Like, it's so, so then I saw this guy, Presley Chweneyagae. I was like, oh, so beyond this theater that I'm studying at drama school, there is something called film. So, oh, by the way, Lina Lagake Warren, the Christ Masemola. At any point when I cry, walk with me, but you will hear my voice. I speak. The first time I met my friend was at Horror Cafe. A friend of mine told me, this is the guy that is portraying the role of Tsotsi. This was about 2003, 2004. Fast forward, we met on the set here in Namba, where we played alongside the legendary Bra Owen Sejake, another legend, Kalo Khadebe. Hey, Jake, bring me the drinks. Pesi Matsemera and others. And we reconnected Le Presley, and we had so much fun, we had so much love. We had a beautiful director, Donovan Marsh, and what an amazing production company, Quizzical Pictures. Then, the next time I met with Tobeza at work, on set, was when we shot a film, The Number, not Number, directed by Kaluma Taban Khurutman Ramarata Tata. He was cancelled by the Ramarata. Especially Presley and I. We shared 9 weeks of production shooting The Number with Muthusi Magano, a friend of ours, a portrayal of a prison life of the 28th, which is The Number Yama 28. And we were ushered by a prisoner, an actual prisoner who was in prison running The Number, the 28th in Paulsmoor, Mahadin Wenzel. And we screened the film at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, ko Canada, ko Ontario. So in Elehore, Drake ale ko ntlong ya Presley nane re lemo, and we always felt like we were going to see Drake. So Muthusi, Presley, and I were always on the streets. Re batla go bona Drake. We never did. In fact, we got to meet the music director, Drake, who shoots all his music videos, Director X. Little did I know that we would meet on a brand fresh, speaking new show, The River. So, Presley coming to Gauteng, he landed in Pretoria, and they had fun at the State Theatre and stuff like that. And I was like, Ntonakasi, I'm gonna show you what Pretoria is. I'm the president of Pretoria. And so we had so much fun. Le Presley, the family here, the ghetto, Refilwe, on the river from Malifu to Dimpo to Beautynizer, the sterilizer, to Makabaza. What a family, man. We had so much fun. My friend and I fought a lot. Presley and I fought a lot. I don't understand people who don't fight with their friends or the people they claim they love. I don't just understand it. If you say you love somebody, love them fully and be there for them at every hour of their life. Ma Africa, men and women, but if you owe it to yourself to talk to the one that you love and say, please, may we just call it. You have children at home, go home, your family needs you. Ka 7 in the morning, and then you get home at 5 in the morning. That's 22 hours of being on the streets on drinking alcohol. As maemo, re fitlile mo lefatsheng beala bo le teng, re fitlile mo lefatsheng ra bonwa, and re tlo bo tloela mo lefatsheng. So if you say to somebody, my friend, be careful and show love, because bojalwa abo hope. Presley and I fought a lot. We fought about love, we fought over work, we fought over time, we fought over professionalism, we fought about children, we fought about our wives, we fought about family, we fought about money. We fought all the time. I remember one time, Charlene will testify, I left my house in Johannesburg coming here home to Pretoria to fetch Presley because he was a nuisance, and I had to pick him up and dodge. Don't laugh. The chomita is Stasi base. E ban le molao, le rutem bana ba lena molao, le rutem basadi ba lena molao, le ben le molao, le maikarabelo mo botshelong ba lena. There's something I had, sorry, I'm about to wrap it up. There's something I had on a podcast, social media. I think it was Sister Penelope who spoke about, hore under apartheid, batswadi ba rena being men, na ba re ga ba fologa train or bus or taxi, mo ba fologa moting, there's a liquor store. So by the time ufita kuntlung, when you've earned 50 rand for the month, ufita kuntlung ka 7 rand, and the children are not eating, and then there is GBV in the house, because re lwela 7 rand when we know you earn 50 rand. Now, fast forward, that lady, I think is Penelope, speaks about it and says, now that has been transferred as energy to women. The influencers are not able to rekisa mabiala, ke basadi. Now, papa le mama bana wa bojalwa, bana ba rena ba tlo ba eng. If you lore biala ke maemo. These are the things Presley and I used to fight about. I used to say, "Kitimana ka dinepe because ke tagilwe, ke ko bojalweng, ke ko taveneng. Ga o nkitse ka mokgwa o nkitseng ka teng, jaaka o mpona mo TV. So o ka nkopa senepe ke le ko taveneng. So ke kopa le tsamayeng le yeng ko liquor store le rekeng bojalwa le nweng ko ntlong le baratani ba lena le bana ba lona. Ke a le kopa tlhem, that is very important." My friend and I loved each other a lot. The last time I saw him, so I wake up, I'm going to work to do a voiceover. So kikibofa my shoelaces, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm looking at the TV, there's Ramaphosa. And then I see at the corner of Newsroom Africa, at the bottom right, they say, at the age of 40. And ki one montluma Africa. Azanka chwatle haso, I was like, somebody tell me this is a freaking joke. I drove to the office. The office was that there, it was not there. That represents Presley and I, Munin Lee and Associates. And we give thanks to Munin. She really took care of us as young boys. And when I got there, the office was not there. I forgot they actually went down to Cape Town for another workshop. I needed to confirm it with somebody. I needed to cry to somebody. Presley, Charlene, am I lying? Presley was my man, dog. So on that Tuesday, and I saw it on the news. It's because on Wednesday, I was with Presley doing a voiceover, and I said, "Oh, we're doing a voice together?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing Isuzu." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing Pineapple." And then he goes into the studio, and I say, "How face? And then he waits for me. And then he's on the phone, and we're hugging, like we are walking together. He's on the phone. We are walking. And he's on the phone, but we're walking, and he's walking for like 40 to 50 minutes. When he finished on the phone call, then we kissed. Like Presley and I enjoyed kissing each other so much. You can laugh. Take it to your family. Presley and I used to kiss so much because that is how genuinely we shared love. We kissed so much. I was like, "My friend, your skin is glowing. I'm sure Charlene is happy. Look at your lips. Vaseline, because that is the only thing." And we kissed, bruh, like we kissed more than 7 times. Lemakoa, the white people in the studios were shocked. They're like, "What's happening with these 2 black boys?" Is how much I loved Tobit. Is how much love Tobita poured into my life. Is how much love we poured into each other. Ma Africa, if we speak about love, can we not pretend and act about it? And we must really be about it. Because if Tobita had friends, Tobeta's friends, Baba Nwan Lebona, Kostasikom, Basile Mo Ochatele Mo Karapak Mo Kasi, you should have told him, "Go home, you have children. Go home, you have a wife. Cut the BS, ma Africa asimayemo, strata asimayemo, and strata asipatid." I love you, my friend. Like, you killed me, doggy. Manufigi, Pandora, Mavalasi, Lidibi, Ndona Paula, Ndona Munsiwa, Ndona Paula, Ndona Munsiwa. We used to have a joke. Why is the chicken so funny? Because it's not funny. I know. Lerakas fatlosam. Ma Africa ke larata ke kopa beyond everything else. Do not live a fake life. We are not fake people. We portray your lives on TV, but be real about it. This is Africa, this is life, and this is love, and show it and be about it.
Thank you. You may take a seat.
Usibuluke, sichabasa sa Jesu, sichabasa South Africa, usibuluke, usibuluke, sichabasa South Africa.
Amen.